Hi guys, in this episode I will doing my little review on the Fenucci scope meters. I've bought the two C23Ts about a year ago and I've been using them on repairs of medical X-ray equipment, repairs at my house, even hacking my daughter's Honda. Watch out for that video, that's an interesting one. And they're awesome, but then I say it's rubbish in the heading. That may confuse you because I use it every day and it does the work, but it's rubbish at the same time, which doesn't make sense, or does it? I've been using this for over a year in the real world. I bought it after seeing some Google reviews which said, or some YouTube reviews which said these things were awesome. And then when I found out, yeah, if you don't get it for free, you don't really see it as awesome as a guy that gets it for free does. So, let's have a look at these. This one I was using a couple of weeks ago in a place called Hartswater to repair an X-ray unit which had an energy storage battery pack on it. So it would store the power in a battery pack, and from there it would then make X-rays in the clinic. Well, I measured the battery pack, this thing stopped working on me, which was bad because at that stage it was the only meter I had, so I was forced to go to town and buy another meter. It was on auto like this when I measured the battery pack. So auto is then with a smart anti-burn function, it's supposed to protect it. No matter what you connect it to, it will detect what you connect it to and set itself up. If you would connect it to a resistor, it would give you a value. If you connect to a power supply or anything, it would switch to voltage and give you a voltage reading, as you saw there for a second. So it auto detects, which is an awesome function, until you connect it to a 400 volt battery pack. In the datasheet for this, they claim it can handle up to 700 volts DC or something. However, I found that a 400 volt battery pack kills it. And the reason for that is simple. This thing starts in auto in resistance mode. So if you have got an AC supply, the AC supply will pick up, the machine will detect it and switch to voltage. However, with the DC supply, it goes from 0 volt to full volts in no time at all. And that's what killed this one. So if I connect it to the resistor, it just jumps around, doesn't give me a value. If you short it out, it just does that, doesn't work. So the resistance circuit got damaged because it couldn't switch from resistance to voltage fast enough to protect itself. So the smart anti-burn, as claimed in the sales brochure, has got limitations to it. It doesn't work and it can lead to your machine getting damaged like this one. However, when you switch it to voltage, it will still measure voltage. Let's do the same with this one. Switch it to voltage, use the same probes and the same partially charged capacitor. And this is 4. So although the resistance circuit is damaged, the voltage measurement still works on this, which doesn't help you if you need to fix a machine in the middle of nowhere in a place called Hartswater. And that's one of my disappointments in this unit, the fact that the anti-burn doesn't work as good as it's supposed to, or as smart as you believe it's supposed to be. Which is sad, because apart from that, it's a fairly decent, awesome multimeter. Scope function has got one big problem for me. It doesn't trigger on a single pulse. If you've got a repeating pulse or repeating waveform, it triggers on it. However, if you have a single pulse, it just doesn't trigger. This is connected to the generator output of the broken unit. So let's set it to a square wave at, says there 1 kilohertz. Let's make it something worthwhile, like 1 a second, 1 hertz, and then the duty cycle, oops, to 10 little pulse of say 10%. Now I'm going to unplug these and connect the probe onto the working unit. And connect it to the output of that unit there. Awesome. And then set auto here. Let's see if it will trigger on that. You see intermittently it does try to trigger on it. Here we go. Five milliseconds per division. I may stop triggering. Let's have a look at how they triggered again. Trigger, set it to normal, channel 1, rising edge. Now we need to get that to the single, so we can adjust the trigger level. And then this is where the problem comes in. If one look here, you will see that it actually does, the software sees the trigger, however the hardware sometimes don't trigger on it. For backup, we'll use this one and connect it to the same sources. So we connect the ground there, the positive there, or the probe there, and we connect the auto button here. Trigger to something that makes sense. One volt per division, and then go to trigger and set the trigger also to normal. Rising channel 1, that's perfect. Return 1 volt. Channel 1 is set to ×1 DC, awesome. And there you can see a nice stable waveform. I want to zoom in, it does nicely. If we change the scale on this, and that's it. If one look closer, you'll see it just doesn't update anymore. You did one pulse and that's the end of it. This one is syncing each and every time. pulse width more. This one doesn't change. This one you can see changed. Pulse width up. Let me reduce the zoom on this one. And you'll see now it finally triggered. And the problem is, if you work on a machine with a single pulse, this doesn't always trigger. We're on the small short one again. This one updates, this eventually updates or manage to trigger. And that's my hassle with the scope function, the fact that it doesn't always trigger. And this is a 1 Hz pulse. It's a 10 MHz oscilloscope and it doesn't trigger. This one you see triggers nicely each time. The settings are almost the same. And you can see this is updated. This is still showing the last pulse. I can reduce the trigger a bit. There's the trigger voltage. Let me reduce it to 50% of the trigger scale. And then just nothing happens. This one you'll see every time I change it, this changes and compensates. And with this one does not register the trigger pulses. Although you can see this is set to 1 Hz and this is following. And that's my problem with these scopes. If you've got a repetitive signal, they're awesome. For a single pulse, they just don't trigger constantly or reliably, which makes it bad for working on X-ray units where you want to have a single wave that you need to capture and look at. It's been I've been babbling for a good couple of seconds now, and this is never updated to the latest one. They had finally updated once, and that's a problem with this. It will update once in gazillion samples, which doesn't help you. If you have a fast repetitive signal, this works nicely. On your car, to check the fuel injectors, awesome. If you want to check the pulses on your crank angle sensor, awesome. If you want to check the signals going to your coil packs for your spark plugs, awesome. Every time it triggers. But for an application like this where you need to capture a single fast thing, just doesn't do it. And this is not fast, it's 1 Hz. It's one sample every second. It's not as though it's a fast signal for you to capture. For 10 meg scope it should be interesting, or it should be easy, not interesting, it should be easy to do it. And it doesn't do it. But apart from that, the meter functions is awesome, the other scope functions are nice, so that's why I say it's an awesome piece of rubbish that you can spend your money on. And that's my reviews of these scopes. It's a quick review for my usage in the real world with these units. So my two complaints with this is, the first complaint is the trigger doesn't work properly on single pulses that you try to capture, and the second one is that the smart anti-burn doesn't work if you're in auto mode. So if you buy one of these, awesome scope, but remember to manually select what you want to prevent you from damaging the resistance measuring circuit, as it's easily damaged, especially on a DC supply trying to measure high voltage DC. The signal generator, beautiful function. As you can see, it's fairly easy to set up and it is fairly stable. So if you buy yourself a Finucci, they're worth the money. Meter modes are awesome, the resistance modes are awesome. Just watch out not to burn it like what happened with mine. Thank you guys, and if you do buy a Finucci, I hope you have lots of fun. Nice tools for the money, they are great value. As you see, I've got more than one, and there's a reason for that. So until the next time, this is my little review on the Finucci scopes.